So what are we doing today? Well, we're doing our first how-to video. As you can see, we got a motorcycle here, and this is my motorcycle. It's about 9 years old now, and for the first time ever, I've noticed the paint, which looks very nice still, is it's got some roughness on it, and I think what that is for me being an idiot and not covering it up better when I was doing some painting. And I think I got a little bit of overspray on it that you really can't see very well because of the metallic in the paint. I think kind of masks it, but you can definitely feel it's there. I got some of it off with detailer because I do wax the heck out of this thing, but in some places you can feel that it's not quite smooth. So we're going to go through the process of what I do to detail this motorcycle. So we're going to clay it after we wash it, and hopefully if you've never done this before, you'll be able to do it on your ride or your car. Hey everybody, we switched cameras and mics so I can kind of better do this tutorial. The first thing I want to go through before we start the process is what you'll need to actually do it. Well, the first thing you're going to need is a couple buckets, and I have those right here. I bought them for like $2.75 a piece at the local Walmart there, so they're not expensive, and you should always use 2 buckets to wash your vehicle by hand. The second thing you're going to need to clay bar your car is obviously a clay kit, and we have that from Meguiars right here. But before we get to that, you're going to have to wash the car, okay? And the first thing you're going to want is a mitt, okay? Here, once again, Meguiars microfiber wash mitt. Real inexpensive. You'll get lots of uses out of it as long as you wash it in between uses. And pretty basic stuff. Now, you're probably expecting me to pull out some Meguiars car wash. But the one I like to use, just simply because I don't have to buy it in a gallon, I can buy it in a half a gallon, is this Duragloss stuff. Now, for those of you that are interested, here's the product number. Either the Meguiars 62 or this, they're kind of on the same level, all right? And it's hard to go wrong with either one. They both just do wonderful jobs. I'm a fan of Duragloss stuff as much as I am any of the Meguiars stuff. Usually I use a chamois because I'm a bit old school to dry my vehicle, but since I have some grit in the paint, if you don't get that off and you go to dry the vehicle, you can rub that stuff off and grind it into your paint and create scratches that you're going to have to take out later. So I went to Walmart and I just bought an inexpensive microfiber drying towel, because the minute we wash this thing and dry it off, we're going to be hosing it down with detailer and rubbing clay all over it. So I'll use this for other purposes later once I get it done, but it should do the job. So let's get going. You can see we have our 2 buckets on the left, right over here. We have a rinse bucket. On the right, we have our soap. Now we break out our clay kit. So let's open this bad boy up and see what we got inside. Okay. One microfiber towel, which we will be using, and I have multiple spares. Here's our quick detailer right here. Now this isn't the premium stuff that they offer, but it'll work as a lubricant. The idea is to just keep these little clay bars, and there's 3 of them, from sticking to the paint. That's what you want to stop from happening. Now this looks real clean. It does. And you know what? That soap got a lot of it off, honestly. So that soap is really good at cleaning. Okay, you have your bar. So what you need to do is kind of knead it. And some clays are definitely harder than others and less malleable. But you want to get it looking something like this. Now we're on a motorcycle, so there's a lot of nooks and crannies that you get into, so I don't want to flatten it out too much. So take your detailer and just liberally, I mean really just hose down the surface of what you're going to do, and that will keep the clay moving smoothly. And then let me get closer here, because we're going to have to work around the camera. There we go. Take your clay and literally just rub it along your surface. Let me see if I can get a little bit better angle for you. So yeah, just rub it along your surface. And you really won't feel a ton. No. And I'm going to work right up to the center line of the tank here, because that's where I sprayed. So we're going to just keep rubbing. Rub it all around. Now don't put a lot of pressure on it. It doesn't need pressure. And look, you can see some stuff came off. Oops. And so now I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna flip it to the other side. And I'm gonna attack over here. And I just do this. And that's basically how you do it. It's not rocket science. If you're a carbon-based life form, you have brain cells, you can pretty much clay bar. Now the trick with this stuff is if you drop it, if you drop this bit of clay, it's done. So it will pick up grit like no tomorrow. So, okay. And you can see, once again, looks like we got a little bit of residue. But you really don't know how much you got until you take your microfiber. Of course, we had a bug in there. And wipe all that detailer off. Wipe it all off. And I can tell you right now, this thing looks better. You know, I didn't notice the grit in it, but let's take you over here. I didn't notice the grit necessarily, but, and I don't know if you can notice, but this feels incredibly smooth now to the touch. This versus this, and my mic probably isn't picking it up, but this feels, you can actually hear it. This is so smooth. It feels like it's waxed almost. You can't feel it. But this, over here on this other side, no, not at all. So let's go over here and do that side. I'll show you how to do it on the other side of the tank. And then we'll come back when it's all done. Now, I've used this side and I've used this side. So there are contaminants on both sides right now. What you need to do at this point is fold it over, knead it, expose new clay. Let me do it off camera here a little bit maybe. You know, kind of smash it around, get it looking different. And what that does is it buries the old contaminants so they can't scratch the paint, and it kind of frees up new clay for you to use. So essentially what we're going to do is just repeat the process. Like I said, this kit is meant to do cars, so if you have nothing but motorcycles like this here, this will do many, many times over a motorcycle. So let's see here. Now, we basically started and ended right about here. So we're going to have a little bit of overlap because, you know, you just want to make sure. Yeah. Like I said, you don't need hardly any pressure to do this. Just let the clay do the work for you. You know, I have some mowers going in the background, but I can kind of hear it picking up stuff. You can hear when you hit a new area of contamination. So put a little bit more down here. Spray. Kind of felt like it dripped off a little bit. Now there are new products on the market. I haven't tried them yet that claim to do this, like Nanoskin has one. And it's kind of like a wash mitt you can actually do when you wash. You just got to use plenty of slick soap. But I don't know. Maybe if this channel gets big enough and I don't have to buy all the stuff and they send it to me to try out, I'll give you an honest review of it. Okay, so we got one side there, and you can see, get it in frame here, you can see we got some grime. So let's dust a little bit more, spritz a little bit more on, and go to the other side. With fresh clay. And I can still hear it picking up a little bit. Okay, so once again, we have some definite dirt here. I'll lay my clay on my seat, get out my handy dandy microfiber, and we'll wipe it off. Now, try to use parts you haven't used before, because this stuff gets contaminated too. You know, always try to use fresh. whenever possible. Fresh areas on the clay, fresh areas on your microfibers, because the least amount of contamination you have, the better chance you can get a glass-like finish on this thing. So, wiping it down. Wipe down this side a little bit again, because I know we got a little bit of run over. And now it's time for the field test. Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah. Yep. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, that paint is like glass right now. So I'm going to finish up the rest of the bike. We'll come back and I'll show you what I use for wax, and we'll finish this up. Let's take a look here. We've gone mobile, and yeah, this is just incredibly smooth, incredibly shiny now. It is ready for wax, and I tell you what, excellent job. Now I'm just inspecting my paint here. Now I've got a little swirl. I don't know if you can see it. Got an itty bitty little swirl mark in there. Now that's going to dictate what kind of top coating I'm going to put on this. I'm not seeing any here, which is good on my fender. So I'll go back and get what I use. Now, if I didn't have any scratches, I would probably be using this. This is Meguiars Ultimate Synthetic Wax. Works wonderful, slick as snot. And on my motorcycle, which I do keep garaged, I usually can get by all summer with just one coat of this stuff, but pretty much every time I wash the thing, I put a coat of wax on it. So that is what I would normally use. This does not correct any sort of scratches or anything. It doesn't have any abrasives or anything in it like for that. Put that down. And then there's Duragloss, okay? This is Total Performance Polish, number 105. Every Duragloss number has a giant number on it. 105 is the number for the Total Performance Polish. The soap that I used, let me go grab it, is 903, okay? There's 901, 902, and 903, I think, are the numbers. It's all the same product, it's just different sizes. There's like a 16 ounce, this is a 64 ouncer, so half gallon, and then there's a full gallon. So that's the only difference there. But this stuff, off tangent there, does have a little bit of a polish in it. And when you see something that says polish, that means it has some mild abrasives in it, so it can help correct very minor scratches. And this stuff lasts a really long time too. I threw this on my mom's GMC, and she got by from Mother's Day till October with that thing, before I noticed it wasn't sheeting water anymore. So this stuff is excellent, excellent stuff. So this is what I use, and we're gonna pretty much put it on and wipe it off, and we'll show you the final product. All right, ladies and gentlemen, look at that baby shine. Yeah. Yep. Took that scratch out, and boy, that metallic and that paint is just popping. So there you go. Hey everybody, that's about all I have for you today. Now, if you're interested in purchasing any of these products for use on your own vehicle, links are down in the description below where you can get them off Amazon. I've also placed links to some great alternatives in case those are out of stock. No matter which one you end up with, you're going to get stellar performance. If you do purchase something from those links down below, you will be doing a little bit to help this channel. I recently signed up as an Amazon affiliate, and I get a very small sales commission for helping them move some merch. So help this fat kid buy some tacos on a Friday night, and I'll love you for it. So that's all I have for you. Till next time, remember, kick butt, take names, but most importantly, kill with kindness. Is that a heart? I don't know. There, kill with kindness.